In tonight's headlines, Hongkongers will be able to watch the Paris Olympics for free after the government acquires the broadcast rights for an undisclosed fee. Chief Executive John Lee says a decision will be made in May or June on whether the weight charging scheme will proceed this summer. And millions of people across North America look up in the sky to observe a spectacular solar eclipse.
Olympic mania swept Hong Kong back in the summer of 2021, when the city's TV stations joined hands and showed the Tokyo Games for free. The move was made possible after the government purchased the broadcast rights to the event and distributed them to the city's free-to-air channels. The positive feedback prompted authorities to do the same again this year. Chief Executive John Lee announced that the public will be able to watch the Paris Olympics on TVB, ViuTV, HOYIBC, and RTHK this July, as well as the Paralympics the following month. He did not reveal how much it would cost taxpayers, citing confidentiality agreements with the International Olympic Committee. But the leader described it as a worthy investment, seeing how the Tokyo Games united the city 3 years ago as people cheered on Hong Kong athletes. He also conceded that while the Paris contract cost less than Tokyo, it was still too big an investment for commercial broadcasters. Hong Kong Sports Institute Chief Executive Tony Choi welcomed the news. He said the arrangement will give local athletes a shot in the arm as they compete, knowing there will be massive support back home. Having multiple broadcasters carry the event also allows the audience to tune into different competitions at the same time, he added. Sports sector lawmaker Kenneth Falk echoed Choi's views. Also Vice President of the Sports Federation and Olympic Committee of Hong Kong, Falk revealed he had been pushing for authorities to snap up the broadcast rights using taxpayers' money. But some people are worried most of the action in Paris will take place when Hong Kongers are asleep, citing the 7-hour time zone difference. Lee said sports fans will find their ways to catch the action, while broadcasters are required to show replays during daytime hours. Janice Yu, Cable News. It's early April, or that time of the year when students sit the Hong Kong Diploma of Secondary Education, or DSE exams. For the first time, authorities have rolled out an electronic check-in system which required candidates to take out their smartphones, access a mobile app called Check-in Smart, and aim the camera at one of the unique barcodes on their desk to register their attendance. The idea is to save time and manpower, sparing invigilators from verifying the identities of candidates one by one, but it stressed out some students. This candidate said the app asked her to log in every time she accessed it, so she arrived at the exam venue early in case things go wrong. But others were unfazed, saying the procedure shouldn't take too much time. Yinghua College was one of around 250 venues hosting DSE exams today. Principal Dian Chen said none of the 51 candidates needed special assistance. He believed the current cohort of DSE students have been well informed of the relevant procedures. The Examinations and Assessment Authority says that about 3,700 candidates turned up for the visual arts exams today. Around 6 in 7, or 85% of pupils, checked in on their own. The authority insisted the new procedure will not impact exam grades, while invigilators stand ready to assist students. The system's capacity will be tested on Thursday, when 45,000 candidates sit the first core subject of Chinese language. Janice Yu, Cable News.
Amid growing public opposition, the government looks set to soldier on with its waste charging scheme. It has now asked district councillors to conduct anonymous surveys at 14 premises undergoing a trial run. Apart from residents, janitors as well as property management and business operators will be asked to submit their views on the scheme. Councillors received a briefing today by Deputy Chief Secretary Chek Wing-hing, who will summarize the responses of the respondents. Chief Executive John Lee also pleaded for patience from the public so authorities can complete the trial run. He also gave a timeline on making a final decision.
I think we have made the government position on waste charging very clear. It is already the law of Hong Kong, so the government has to think of a proper way to implement it, to take it forward. We have already indicated that by maybe May or June, we will be making that decision and making an announcement. So I think we should give time to this trial scheme and do contribute your opinions.
Under blustery conditions, Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and First Lady Yuko touched down at an airbase in Maryland. The red carpet was rolled out for Kishida, who became the first Japanese leader to visit the United States since the late Shinzo Abe in 2015. He will meet US President Joe Biden at the White House tomorrow and share a table at a state dinner. But the showpiece event comes on the next day, where the duo will be joined by Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos in the first trilateral summit between the leaders. The three allies are looking to further boost defense ties, just days after they were joined by Australia for four-way military drills in the South China Sea. Ever since Biden stepped into office, Washington has been increasingly involved in the Indo-Pacific region.
Every major alliance for the United States in the Indo-Pacific is getting stronger at the same time. First time that's been the case since the end of the Cold War. And that's not because of Biden administration magic, not because they're sprinkling fairy dust on our allies and they suddenly want to cooperate with us. It's because our allies share common concerns with the United States about what they see as challenges from China, challenges from North Korea.
The Philippines is expected to seek help from its allies to shore up its maritime defense capabilities, following a series of hostile encounters with Chinese Coast Guard vessels in recent months. Ray Minyan, Cable News.
Cities plunged into sudden darkness as a total solar eclipse swept across North America. Dubbed the Great North American Eclipse, tens of millions of people gathered at vantage points across the United States, Mexico, and Canada to observe the rare phenomenon. Skygazers at Niagara Falls, straddling the US-Canadian border, cheered as totality arrived, the phase when the moon completely obscured the sun's blinding light.
Just seeing how it got dark, that was an experience that, it's like unforgettable.
This couple even seized the opportunity to exchange their vows, adding extra significance to what was already a special day.
It was a beautiful moment of my life for the rest of our lives that we will never forget. And I get to call you wife. Thanks, Samantha.
Crowds from all over the world gathered at Mazatlan, a Mexican resort town along the Pacific coast. Not only does the town fall on the narrow path of totality, it is also one of the first to experience celestial sensation. With telescopes in position, amateur astronomers eagerly awaited as the sparkling beaches were slowly absorbed by darkness for about 4 minutes. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador, wearing special sunglasses, was among the first ones to observe the eclipse. As one of the few major U.S. cities in the path of totality, the eclipse turned day into night at the baseball field in Cleveland, a rare occurrence since 1806. A total eclipse occurs when the moon passes between Earth and the sun, completely blocking the sun's face. According to NASA, total eclipses can last anywhere from 10 seconds to about 7.5 minutes. A spectacle of the same scale won't return to North America until 2044.
Because I'm 92. The next will be 20 years. So it's definitely my last one, I hope.
Cheryl Yun, Cable News.
Markets in the Indonesian capital, Jakarta, are buzzing with activity as Muslims get ready to celebrate Eid. The fasting period during the Islamic holy month of Ramadan ends today, and many shoppers were stocking up on meat to celebrate the festive occasion with family and friends. But the cost of fresh produce has gone up by nearly 20%, said this chicken vendor. Heavy demand for several food items has pushed up prices. Public transport in Jakarta were jam-packed with commuters heading home to celebrate the holiday with families. More than 28 million people are expected to leave the metropolis and head to outlying regions. Shares of L'Occitane International suspended trading in Hong Kong today after its owner Renaud Geiger reportedly wanted to take the French cosmetics giant private. Geiger, who currently holds a 70% stake, is said to be financing the buyout with the help of Blackstone. L'Occitane went public in the SCR in 2010 and is now valued at $43.6 billion. Meanwhile, shares at Hang Seng Bank shot up 3.1% after a proposed $3 billion share buyback. Parent company HSBC gained 1.1%. Mainland game developer NetEase jumped 4.1% after reports suggested it is resuming cooperation with US gaming giant Activision Blizzard. Overall, the Hang Seng Index briefly crossed the 17,000 point mark before ending the day 0.6% higher.